I'm going to really start from the start. And uh, I've read, of course, that you had wanted always to be in films. You were a big fan of Raja and cricket also. And then you applied for a film school and you rejected the film school. So tell me about that first. As a, yeah, let's start on that note.
No, I didn't reject the film school. I just went there because I didn't even know that you had to study for film. So somebody told me that there is a film school. So I went to, I think from Bangalore, I went to Chennai. I did the interview. They did some written exam. That time it was not so as complicated. And they asked me some questions about some theory of black and white cinema. And I think that put me off because I'm not into the theory of cinema. I'm into actually telling stories. So I said, this is not what I want to study. I lose all interest in cinema and I ran out from there. So I didn't reject it. I was more afraid that I would learn so much that I would forget cinema.
But like, yeah, you Wikipedia's page that you didn't like the examiners.
No, I didn't like the exam. I didn't like the. I was so scared when they asked me those questions that I thought that that's what I have to study. So I didn't quite like them asking these questions. And I find it in a lot of film students today. They're very well equipped with the theory. They know a lot about cinema. They know. They're like Wikipedias of cinema. But sometimes, I find a lot of people losing their originality in a lot of things that they watch. They absorb so much that they want to be like this or practice this or do something like that. Because cinema is just a medium to exhibit your originality, your art form. So I think sometimes they take the medium for the end product itself. A lot of film students. So that's what happens.
So basically, no film school is the best film school.
No, I'm not saying that. I really wish I had gone. If I had not been in advertising, I really would have gone to film school finally. But I think film school is a great opportunity to learn the basics of cinema, practice a lot. I also tell a lot of students in film school, write your own film while you're studying film, because that every time you write what you study, you can practice in your head every day. So most film students come out of film school without having written a film, without having written the film that they want to make when they're out in the world. So I think that's a waste of time. So I believe film schools are a invaluable place to learn and be ready for the outside world, just not learn.
But there should be a balance. Ultimately, it's a practicing art that you want to say.
Yeah, of course.
And the theory shouldn't overpower the art, ultimately.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So after that, what was the journey? Like you opted for engineering as a student. And that too, I heard that you quit at an early stage.
Again, I didn't opt for engineering. I didn't know where to go from the film school. There was a college opposite. So I just walked in. It was the first year of MCA, I remember, Masters in Computer Application. They said, yeah, forms are being given. So I said, fine. I went to the college. I saw a beautiful cricket field there. I really loved the cricket field. I said, okay, I'll take this course. I really liked programming. I did a lot of programming 3 years because I found it a invaluable discipline in terms of the logic of communication. In fact, those 3 years which I did programming in that college really helped me in advertising, because what happens is we think everything is art, but art is also to express to another, you need logic. And people process it almost like, step by step by step by step. Like it's cinema. You suddenly say, he came inside the house and shouted at his father. What do you mean by came inside the house and shouted? He entered the door. Where was the father? Father exited. Did the father get up? How did he shout? What was the father's reaction? Each one is a step which you have to shoot. There's logic, and programming is nothing but that logic. So I learned the discipline of logic to express something which I wanted to say logical.
But at that time, like at that age, मतलब उस उम्र में, मतलब जब हम student होते हैं, so we watch films. What were your favorite filmmakers, directors?
No, I watched so many. Like when I was in college and school itself, much before I did the engineering course, there used to be a library next to my house, which had from Tarkovsky to Fassbinder to everything I've seen there, because that guy was a great film buff. In those days, VHS was there, and there were no libraries which had these films. So I actually saw, and Bangalore, I grew up in Bangalore, and it's a great place for filmmakers because it's the only city at that point of time where Hindi movies used to run more than it would run in Delhi. Uh, Tamil movies would be run more than it would run in the next city after Chennai. Telugu movies would run. So all languages, including German and French, there used to be a theater for German French films in Bangalore. So Bangalore was almost like a cinema capital of the country. It had the biggest theaters. The first thought of multiplex actually happened in Bangalore, like massive multiplexes, not like small. So I grew up in a culture watching all kinds of films. So therefore, my favorite directors were a hell of a lot from the German masters to all these people. But you always have when you watch films of your country, your culture, it always kind of touches you a lot more. Not that Children of a Lesser God doesn't touch you as much as this. But if my favorite film has always been Moonram Pirai, which is the original of Sadma, the Tamil version of Sadma, because I think it's the greatest film ever made.
म्हणजे सदमाचं ओरिजिनल
It was first released as Moonram Pirai in Tamil and then was remade in Sadma as Sadma in Hindi. Because I just believe, for me, cinema, I'll tell you also why I like certain films. I like certain films because there are absolutely wonderful films all across the world. But I like certain films which make me want to be a certain way, which say, yeah, I wish it was like this. I wish love was like this. Or I wish Sadma made me feel I wish sadness was like this. I wish I could feel sad like this. So I really wanted to meet a girl who had amnesia, who would dump me, and I would be sitting on the bench and crying exactly like that, and be heartbroken. So
That's
it's
wonderful.
an aspirational sadness.
Yeah.
Even sadness can be made,
Yeah.
oh, wish I believe it's the purpose of cinema somehow. Yeah, there are all kinds of filmmakers. Some filmmakers like to show the world exactly as it is. I like to show the world, a realistic world, with a little bit of, I wish it could be like this. A relationship which is really doesn't exist, but a little bit of what I wish a relationship could be.
Yeah.
So I always grew up admiring that kind of cinema. So therefore, I maybe want to make those kind of things only.
Okay. अभी एक बात है मतलब इतना सिनेमा से आपका लगाव था देन यू एक्सीडेंटली डिड एन इंटर्नशिप विद मुद्रा विच इज व्हाट आई हैव लर्न कि गलती से आपने इंटर्नशिप के लिए अप्लाई किया था और उस चीज को बुनियाद टेलीविजन सीरियल से लेकर कुछ जुड़ा है किस्सा तो वो क्या है
इंटर्नशिप नहीं मेरे को एडवर्टाइजिंग क्या होता है पता नहीं था उस जमाने में एक एडवर्टाइजिंग एजेंसी होता है उसके लिए काम करना पड़ता है एक ऐड के लिए I remember when I first told my mother that I'm joining advertising. She said, "What is an advertising agency?" I said, "See, those ads that come, say Vimal, and you write only Vimal, and this. So you need to actually think they have an office to write only Vimal to shoot that picture. You guys are mad. What is this industry that you're?" Even I didn't know. I was exactly like that. So I joined Mudra because one day there was an ad in the newspaper. It's a small little ad which said, in 100 words, tell me the person you are. Till then, nobody had asked me who I was. So some
Nice.
ad asked me who I was, and that ad had the logo of Mudra, which was the logo that came after every episode of Bunyad, which is directed by Ramesh Sippy. So I thought Ramesh Sippy was asking me, in 100 words, tell me who
Nice.
you are. So I replied. So the person who met me, a dear friend of mine, Nagarand Kumar today, he told me, "Oh, you want to meet Ramesh Sippy?" I said, I'm not interested in advertising. So he said, "You come with me, we'll meet Ramesh Sippy soon." So we were taken to Ahmedabad, 6 of us, and we were shown a lot of films, some arbit theories in advertising. I came back, and somehow somebody asked me one day, why did you want to join advertising? I said, I didn't want to join advertising. I want to make films. So they asked me, how do you expect to make films? You have no educational qualification, you have nothing. I said, trust me, somebody one day is going to come on MG Road, walking, MG Road in Bangalore. They'll come with a suitcase full of money and they'll say, please make a film for me. Just trust me. So it was such a foolish thing. So I joined advertising and believe it or not, one of the first clients who came into the agency, in fact, that's why I got addicted to advertising. He came with a suitcase. He came to the manager's room and he said, can you please do me an ad? And they wrote out a check. And those days, it was very simple. It was a small client, so he had to write a check and give it to him. And the manager came to me and said, can you do an ad? So I saw the check and I saw an ad. I said, this is business. So I said, I got an idea. I told a story. Somebody's giving you money. See, I said, somebody will come with a suitcase, give you money and ask for an idea. And that really happened to me. And I said, I got addicted to advertising because I felt that my dream has come true. I never missed feature film because every day somebody was asking me, can you tell me a story for your brand? Can you tell me a story for your brand? And there they were paying. They were requesting to a story and they were paying. So I said, I'm not missing feature films at all. I'm telling a story a day. So more than one story a day. So why would I miss that stuff in an agency? That's how I grew up. And that's why I got addicted to advertising.
पर म्हणजे खूबसूरती की बात ये है कि जब एक पर्सन लाइक एस्पायरिंग फिल्म मेकर और समवन हु इज सो मच इन्फ्लुएंस बाय फिल्म्स, जिसको सिनेमा से इतना लगाव है, वो उसका पूरा नर्चरिंग सिनेमा से हुआ है, अगर ऐसा डायरेक्टर एड फिल्म मेकर होता है, सो वी गेट सच काइंड ऑफ एड्स फॉर द ऑडियंस. दाग अच्छे होते हैं, सर्फ एक्सेल, जागोरे एड, इफ यू रिमेंबर टाटा टी, what an idea Sarji for Idea Cellular. These are such iconic brilliant ads, I'll tell you. मतलब उस समय की फिल्में मुझे कम याद है और ये एड्स ज्यादा याद है. और फॉर माय जनरेशन, मैं तो टीवी जनरेशन 90s किड्स हूँ, तो हम लोगों को वो एड्स ज्यादा पसंद आते थे, फिल्में घटिया लगती थी. सर थैंक यू फॉर दैट.
It was my job.
So now, yeah, ads do pay well, do pay very well for a filmmaker or for a director. What was still lacking, and then what was this journey कि ये ad film से फिर से film की तरफ कैसे आ गया?
My ad films, nahi. I was never making ad films. I was the head of Lintas, so I was an advertising writer. I was a creative director of an agency. I never made ad films, but I wrote so many ad films and I supervised so many ad films being made. I edited them. I kind of did music for them. So I got trained by doing thousands of ads in the thing of filmmaking. But I actually did, the first time I ever directed, I did one Hamara Bajaj commercial when I was in Lintas. Because I had to reshoot the film because somebody had really screwed it up. So I had to reshoot it. The client refused to pay, so we as the agency had to pay and do it. But the first real thing that I shot was Chinikam. I had never shot anything before. You know, I had only supervised a hell of a lot of ads, so I knew filmmaking, I knew storytelling, and I knew writing, but the first thing I ever shot was Chinikam. So I never transitioned from advertising filmmaking to, there's a lot of money in advertising filmmaking, which never came to me because I never made the film.
Yeah, you were just
so
a writer.
I only wrote the films. So, but then I moved to feature films just by accident, actually.
But what was that inspiration? Because every first film there's a voice, अंदर एक आवाज होती है कि अभी उठो और तुम्हारी फिल्म बनाओ. वो क्या था? What is that?
वो कुछ नहीं था. Actually, I was so addicted to advertising that one day I shot of one of Amitji's first ad campaigns after he came back. It was for Parker pens. Dobi ke liye autographs.
Yes.
So I just looked at him. Somehow I think there was, I mean, of course, I'm a huge fan of his. He didn't know me from Adam, so he just looked at me. I was describing things to him. Somewhere, some comfort level was there. There was a good, peaceful existence. Then I was thinking of him continuously. I was doing a Lifebuoy ad, I remember, and I was struggling for an idea. So I was just walking up and down the corridor. I went to the loo. I came back, and I suddenly told the creative head of that particular brand, I got an idea. He said, what? We cracked Lifebuoy. I said, not for Lifebuoy. I got an idea for a film. So what film? He said, because I've been thinking of Bachchan. Sometimes when you think of somebody, you get an idea. Yeah. So I've always liked Bachchan's sarcasm. Yeah. I've always liked his poker-faced humor. And I love Tabu as an actor tremendously. So I said, here's a story of a 65-year-old man who falls in love with a 34-year-old woman whose father is 55 years old. Come on, let's do this. So I told Amitji, I messaged Amitji. As soon as I had the idea, I said, Amitji, I have an idea. Do you want to discuss it? He said, come, one line. Then I told him the idea. I said, if you like it, I'll write it because I can't write. I'll waste a lot of time. I've got a full packed schedule in advertising. He said, write it. It's only two words. When I wrote it, I told him that. He said, let's do it. They were the only 3 words which I've heard from him. He never laughed at the script. He never enjoyed one joke in the film. And I'll tell you why. I was narrating the film to him, and there was poker face silence. You expect as a human being, even as a writer, somebody to laugh at your jokes. And he's the first person I'm narrating the script to in my life. Okay, I've written it with great sense of thinking that I was listening. Stone cold silence, and you don't look at Amitabh Bachchan when narrating. I'm looking blindly at
You
the stuff.
already get intimidated by his person.
No, it's like, I mean, you can't look at a person and say, nice. No, I can't do that. No, so you just keep looking at the script. You just keep looking at the script. And you read, and somewhere it's bothering you that nobody is laughing. There's no reaction. There's not even a pencil sound. Has he gone to sleep? I just looked up, and he had this absolutely cold expression looking at me. I said, he hates it. Then I started reading it. Then I suddenly realized why he is looking at me like that. I'm reading the whole script to him in his voice.
Oh,
Imitating him. Like you and I, if you were to talk, we would imitate Bachchan. And I'm narrating to him as if he is some other person, and I'm behaving like Bachchan. So to behave like Bachchan is the biggest embarrassment in the world. So uske baad, it was about till interval I reached. After interval, I switched to Tabu's voice for everybody. Whoever character I just said everything in Tabu's voice and I ran from there. So that was my first reaction of that film. So there is nothing that happened. It's just divine luck. I believe the most important thing that film school doesn't teach you is a belief in luck. I know there is a lot of philosophy that's told to human beings of resilience and manifestation. All that I agree, I understand. But also believe in luck. I'm saying manifest that you need luck. I think that's very important because a lot of people at the end of their lives or in the middle of their lives, having tasted success, will come and tell us a lot of gyan about stories of success or not success or whatever. But it was a matter of one incident or two incidents which could switch from that person being there to that person not being there, despite the same talent. And I know a lot of talented people, supremely talented people, who there was no fault of theirs that they didn't make it, just luck. But it's about taking the luck in your stride. It's all about, life is about handling it when the luck doesn't happen. When the luck happens, a lot of people can't handle life. They'll go through ups and downs. That's very, very important. That's what I learned very early in life.
Yeah,
in advertising.
very well said actually. The manifestation, yeah, of course. Artist needs that.
Yeah, because I don't know where the idea is coming from. See, anybody can say, oh, this person's so great. Or somebody says, but I'm not great. Nobody is great because till I know where the idea is coming from, it's dropping into my head. So it's an accident. So it so happens to drop into my head. I can prepare my head for it to drop. That's all I can do. I can't take credit for that thing dropping into my head.
Yes.
So I can never say that, I can't say it's my idea. It's an idea I had. Okay? Or it came to me.
The ownership doesn't belong to you. The ownership.
Yeah. And even films, when people say a film by so-and-so, a lot of people say, it's not a film by one person. It can never be a film by one person. There are so many people contributing to a film. I mean, I can write it and I can direct it, but that's the maximum I can do. But a lot of things I can't do. I can't, for example, lift that camera from there to there. It's tough. So that's a great thing. So I just believe that we all need to know the truth of life. And I think filmmakers, especially filmmakers, need to know the first truth of life is to thank your stars when you're successful and run with it. Don't think twice. Don't make a big virtue of when things go right. Things go right, thank your stars and forget it.
Don't rely on too much. अभी मैं एक बात पूछना चाहता हूँ आपको. Like you started with the reference of this film. तो उसमें आपने कहा कि you need this a bit of what if, and this what if is very much visible. This what if म्हणजे ते जर चंद्र उगवलाच नाही तर असे जे निबंध आपल्याला शाळेत यायचे तर ते मगाशी जे म्हणाले आपल्याला जे कमल हसनच्या फिल्मचं उदाहरण दिलं त्यांनी ते व्हॉट इफ आणि त्यांच्या सगळ्या फिल्म्सच्या लॉगलाईन्स म्हणजे आय जस्ट वॉन्ट टू टेक अँड देन आय कोट माय क्वेश्चन. सो नाव पा. सो पाची गोष्ट काय की 12-year-old बॉय who is extremely rare genetic disorder called progeria. And it's about a relationship of finding father and a single mother in that. ही पाची गोष्ट आहे. Chini Kam, as you said, 64-year-old chef falling in love with a 34-year-old woman who has a father who is just 55-year-old. So this is again Zar. Shamitab, a mute man, teams up with a man with powerful voice to take a industry by storm. He Chup, and Chup is my personal favorite, sir. So a crime thriller. It's a crime thriller in which a police is on hunt for a killer. So एक serial killer है जो film critics ना मारतोय. ही त्यांची आणि आता परत घुमर हँडिकॅप बॉलर who was a girl who was a batting prodigy म्हणजे जी खरं तर उत्तम बॅट्समन होती हँडिकॅप झाली बॉलर झाली आणि तिचे एक्सेंट्रिक कोच सोबत टाइप करून दे डिस्कवर अ न्यू स्टाइल ऑफ बॉलिंग सो सर ये व्हाट इफ ये आप मतलब कहाँ से आता है ये मतलब फ्रॉम वेयर दिस आइडिया सीरियसली कम यू टोल्ड मी हाउ डू यू प्रोसेस इट बिकॉज इट हैज दिस range of genre. There's a thriller, there's a romantic film, there's a comedy. मतलब how do you like generally people do thrillers so they are known मतलब वो होता है ना director's mark तो thriller बनाया तो बने ने thriller ही बनाने रहना चाहिए ये आप what how do you juggle with all this?
See, I mean, every story that you want to tell has the genre inbuilt into it. I'll give you examples. I don't see. I do to the best of my ability. I believe filmmaking is a very laborious process. It takes a lot of time to do it. So something must motivate a whole lot of people, including me, to follow that journey for 2 years. And I think it can only be the thought of the film. If the thought of the film is not something at least unique to the best of my knowledge, you can't carry so many people on that. First thing. Second thing is, see, I don't think I have today the kind of monies and the infrastructure required to create a new Marvel world. Okay? We can only do some things which are 10% of what they do and think we are fantastic in VFX. I don't want to be in the world where I can't be original in something. So I'd like to be at least original in thought, a thought that I haven't seen before, or I can do something like that. You may go wrong or right, but the thought has to be original. To me, something that is worth spending 2 years on. And it's same thing happened. I didn't start Pa by wanting to do a film on progeria. I actually went to Amitji's house one day while we were promoting Chini Kam, and he was behaving like he was playing the fool. And Abhishek was a rare incident. Abhishek was behaving very wisely. You know, he was saying some very wise things to Bachchan. And Bachchan was pulling his legs, saying something. I said, Dad, this guy is behaving like his dad, this guy is behaving like his son. So if I ever do a film, maybe a fantasy, one day I'll reverse the roles. I actually, when I decided to Pa, the reason I did Pa was to reverse the roles of them. And then I found progeria. I discovered progeria as a reason. I never did it as a father-son story. I just did it as I must reverse their roles one day. So everything needs a trip. Like Shamitab is the same thing. I didn't want to do some mega stuff. I didn't know what to do. I was going to Amitji's house to wish him on his birthday. There were lots of people. He doesn't drink. He doesn't eat much. He doesn't do anything. So what do I go give Amitabh Bachchan flowers? Impossible. How could I go give Amitabh Bachchan flowers? It's like, what am I doing in life? So I didn't know what to do. I was stuck in a taxi actually going to his house. And I said, the only thing I can give him is an idea. I said, what idea, what idea? Thankfully, the traffic jam was a lot that day. So I had time on the road and I didn't have a car. My driver hadn't come. So I was in a cab. It was hot. 2 hours I was stuck in the traffic. I got this idea. I said, this man's voice is the most iconic one. We must pay tribute. But his voice is a blind spot in his face, so I'll take his voice and put it on somebody else,
Nice.
and then his voice will get noticed again. This is exactly what I thought. I ran to his house. I wished Pavanji, happy birthday, I have a gift for you. He said, where? I said, come to the corner. I took him to the corner. I said, this is your voice. I'm taking it out, putting it on somebody's face. As an actor, this thing, ego clash between body and voice. He said, let's do it. I said, bye. Good night. I left. Sometimes things happen like that. I have no reason why to do it. But if that thought for me is not... Chup again. Critic killer has been in my mind ever after Chini Kam. After the first review I read of Chini Kam, I think Khalid was there who wrote the review. He had slammed the film. And those days, I genuinely believed in the purity of reviews. I thought everybody was writing genuinely. They knew
Yeah.
all about cinema, how great. Little did I know the agendas, little did I know all this stuff. But I genuinely thought he was a great guy, so I believed foolishly, and he had slammed it. Amitji told me afterwards that all these guys are all, don't believe in all this stuff. But I mean, it sounds like consolation to you when somebody's telling you don't believe. That time I thought, I'm gone. So the film had become a hit. People had loved it. People had liked it. Nothing mattered to me. Only Khalid Muhammad's review kind of got stuck in my head. He had slammed me. So from that day, a thought had come. He can slam me and be absolutely okay. I have no way of getting back. How do I get back at him? I don't have a public forum for the world to know that I don't. His review itself requires 1 star. Why can't I give ratings to his review? Why is he going to give review? So if he can rate my creative work, why can't I rate his creative work?
Right, yeah.
So this was a thought that happened that stuck. I told Amiji said, don't, rubbish, foolish. Don't do it now. You're taking his review too seriously. But it stayed with me for 15 years. And I said, I'm going to do this. That's why I did show. Because I had a ball planning the killings of so many critics. I mean, and it was so funny. Raja, who's a dear friend of mine today, and I had stopped reading any review ever written of my film after Chini Kam. So I called Raja one day, the friend. I said, see, I have this story, I have this thought. I want you to sit and jam with me because I know my feelings about you guys, but I don't know your feelings about us properly, except what you write. So I don't want it to be one-sided. Please jam with me on that one. So we started jamming. I said, one sec. Before I actually, because I like to start writing I like to start typing with dialogues, everything on my computer straight out. So I said, you keep giving me insights of what you think of filmmakers. I don't want to know what filmmakers think of critics. That I'm going to say it. But tell me. But before he started to open his mouth, I said, wait, we'll meet after 3 days. He said, why after 3 days? I said, I have a work to do. I went back and read everything ever written about any of my films to almost exercise myself. I read every word. And I suddenly discovered this friend, this chap who I'm asking for insights has slammed me most. Okay? So Raja's come. Next, after 3 days he comes. He does not know why I've called him. So he comes and he discusses and he's talking. And I didn't tell him you've slammed me so much. So I'm saying, and I'm discussing the juiciest ways to murder critics. And I'm thinking of him sitting in front of me, saying, how do I slice you like this? How do I slice this one? How do I slice? How do I carve, intestine? Well, cricket field, mein, how can I leave 11 parts of your body in 11 fielding positions? Let me try this. And what a joy. 2 people became friends by one person plotting how to murder this guy. So this was our friendship. And he's thinking innocently, Balki, we'll do this, we'll put the kidneys. I said, your kidneys are going there to short leg. Your kidneys are going. In my head, I'm thinking. So it was such a lovely experience. I had great fun. And to me today, critics truly don't bother me, affect me, because I have got rid of that, that entire angst, because I actually killed them. I heard, like the other day, Sandeep Vanga's.
Yeah, I was about to come to this. This anger.
Anger about critics. I'm hugely angry with critics. But when somebody asks me now, what do you think now after Vanga said about critics? No, I said, I don't think about them. I've killed them already. So, he's just talking about them. He's pissed off them. I finished the business. So I'm okay. I'm relieved. It's just a joke. But I just believe that a lot of people are not doing their job the way they should. Also, I think a lot of this because of the paid PR stuff, also there's a lot of paid criticism that's going on in the country, which is wrong. And a lot of illiterate criticism is also going on, which is wrong. A lot of agenda-filled criticism that's going on is wrong. And the few people who are actually honest, wonderful critics of cinema get lost in this crowd of a lot of, corruption that's going on in this industry. Totally. And why it's corruption is, unfortunately, people still believe it's the truth. That's the sad part of it. What all we talk of publicity, today between all corporates, between all filmmakers, we all know of paid publicity. Yeah. We all know the magazines and the newspapers and the websites and the influencers. We know this whole game. Yeah. Unfortunately, people don't know. People still trust the headlines. Yeah. People still trust the newspaper. They don't know how much of it is sponsored. How much of it is, if I take 30 crores worth of advertising in a newspaper, I can write a lot of articles about my company, about myself. and they really think that's a way to fame. It's the innocence of people when you fraud. That's the real sad part. Not us accepting that it is, tell the people, don't read a newspaper, everything is paid for. Educate the people about the paid PR and then do paid PR. Let's see if you have the guts to do it. You're trying to make money for PR till people don't know so that you can deceive. That is deception. That actually is a crime. You're deceiving people about the truth. That's what I don't like.
And yeah, of course, like while we are speaking this, we have like very powerful press jury, international film critics jury judging our films here, but they would also agree to your take. Your concern about this, the quality of criticism,
No,
and
that's good
mainly
and bad
driven
in
by
every
the
field. It's not just criticism. Any field, like either even filmmakers, in the cops, in the politicians, in business, there are good people
but
and bad people.
three star, 4 star for a film that format.
No,
And
it's not the formats that bother. Actually, it is first sensitivity. You've had the privilege to go and see somebody's work, and you've had the privilege to rate it. Please exhibit the sensitivity. You may not like it. I'm really not. In fact, I hate people praising really boring and bad things. But write it sensitively. It's not. Nobody wants praise alone. People want to read that stuff and get something out of it. Both the filmmaker and the audience. They forget the filmmaker. They're just trying to pander to. Don't go see this film. Don't waste a single
they
minute of
pass
your.
judgments.
Arey yaar, then don't review it. Na? And people will figure it out themselves. Because no filmmaker sets out to make a bad film.
Right.
You know, it goes bad. Or unfortunately, somebody is not talented or somebody makes a judgment. But there is an amount of sensitivity that's required because you have been given the job to influence people.
Right.
Some critic told me, "Why are you taking critics so seriously? I mean, they don't matter at all. People don't follow them and read them or whatever. Anyway, people don't think critics." I said, "That's the most stupid thing I've heard. You, a critic, is telling me that critics don't matter. Why are you taking me so seriously? I've never heard number. That means you are obviously willing. It doesn't matter. I can do whatever I want. I can write whatever because anyway, my job doesn't matter. You've come to that situation. It's such a dangerous kind of position that you are. And people still believe you're seeing the truth."
But artist does need criticism to grow as well.
No, I think that's the biggest cliche. I don't like to be criticized. I like to only be praised. I'm tired. Enough criticism we all do for ourselves. There are 1,000 things, 1,000 people who criticize you day in and day out about what you're doing. That is wrong. This is wrong. You've not done this. I want to hear only good things. If you don't have good things, just don't tell me. Go off quietly, or tell it to me in a nice way so that I don't even know that you're saying something bad.
Yeah.
You know.
Nice.
I just believe finally it is not about hurting people. You don't have to show off your ability to hurt people.
Yeah.
And sometimes I believe a lot of critics are doing that because they believe anyway filmmakers are not sensitive to be hurt by them. Then what are you talking? You can say what you want. Don't use the power to hurt people just because you have it.
Yeah, that's.
I don't have it. So in fact, I once wanted to start a column on every Saturday, actually reviewing everybody's review. I'll say, okay, come on, Saturday, guys, come on, who are all the names? Raja Sen, so and so, Anupama Chopra, come on, babies, come on, guys. Saturday, your review is coming. I could have ripped them apart. I think it'll be a magnificent kind of a business idea for anybody who wants to do it. Just go on Saturday, rip each of these guys apart. That'll be read far more than the reviews of the films. Who's doing that? If somebody has the audacity to do it. I think it's fun.
Just like shifting away from this, coming to the directorial part, another interesting thing, मतलब एक गोष्ट यांच्या फिल्मशी एक आवडते आपल्याला एक बात पसंद आती है, the way he puts the cast together. It's very unconventional. Like Tabu and Amitabh Bachchan again, imagine together. In Chup, like Sunny Paji and Dalkir Salman and Shreya Dhanvantari. In Pa, again, like Vidya Balan and Amitabh Bachchan. Dhanush and Bachchan again in Shamitabh. So, like, how do you cast actually for the film? Like, of course, majorly Bachchan has been the key factor in the casting, or sometimes driving factor for the ideation also. But like putting up such unconventional cast.
I think cast is part of the tool of filmmaking. Like Milos Forman once said that if you have a good script, you get the right people to act, you can sit back and chill. That's a lot of the filmmaking is done in that kind of a way. I just believe cast adds a huge amount of interest value. Of course, like you said, for Bachchan and for other few other people, it goes without saying that you have to write for them, because I believe certain people are bigger than the characters that you can create for them. But cast is also dependent a lot on how you see the film while you're writing. I like to see the cast before I write a film. I like to actually bounce off an idea to the cast I think who should be doing this film, and if they like it, actually start writing with them in the head, rather than going and casting after I write. I don't, it's not always that you get exactly the actors that you want, but at least 70% of the times you'll be successful when they are excited about it. I like the interesting cast, because I've always loved Shreya, loved Dulkar. Sunny was an inspired casting at the last minute.
Yeah, especially like Sunny Deol is all about Gadar, Gadar, Gadar. And the way you have cast him in
No,
Chok.
this was before Gadar.
Yeah,
So Sunny
of course.
was like, nobody was, I didn't even know Sunny was ready to act again. So it was just one of those things, and Sunny not shouting in a film.
Yeah, exactly.
So I said, in fact, so he said, how can you take Sunny Deol and not shout in the film? So I said, okay, Sunny, last day you just scream, yeah, Sunny. He said, what should I scream? I said, open the door and scream, bastard, loudly. He did it, that whole floor shook. Everybody stood still there, and the soundproof studio, it went outside. Somebody came running and said, what happened? This whole thing, Sunny shouting. Everybody wants to say Sunny shouting. I think. So, and Sunny shouts bastard means he lowered the entire thing. Of course, I had to mute it for the censors.
Yeah, you've muted it.
Yeah, Sunny was very disappointed.
Coming to songs, and that has been a very interesting part of your films. And again, like we know that you are a big fan of Ilayaraja, and you are the most few lucky persons who have the score, the songs done by Ilayaraja for your film. So tell me about like Ilayaraja being an inspiration while you were not a filmmaker, to having Ilayaraja to compose your songs.
I'll tell you why I'm a great fan of, I don't need to tell anybody about Rajas's music, because Ilayaraja's music, because he is the god of melody. He is just gifted. But when I first heard Ilayaraja's music, when I didn't even know regional cinema or whatever, when I heard it once in a film that my neighbor had taken me to, neighboring aunt, who I owe all my filmic love to, I heard this tune from Ilayaraja. I closed my eyes. I imagined how life could be with that tune. His music makes you aspire for a different life from what it is. A slightly more upgraded version of your own life. Upgraded, I don't mean in lifestyle.
Yeah.
In terms of emotions, in terms of wanting, seeking, greed for life. His music gives you a more beautiful version of the world than what it is. Always. Either in sadness or love or action or dance, whatever it is. So I love that about his music tremendously, and Raja sir is unheard of magic. I've never met a person. I remember Chini Kam, we had 7 reels at those point of time. Even now it's in the form of reels. So every reel is 22 minutes. Assume the reel is 20 minutes. So you have 2 hours, 20 minutes of a film with 7 reels. So normally a background score of a film takes about a month to even hear the first kind of stuff. Then you go and correct it and do the stuff. Rajas is very simple. I go to his studio at 7 o'clock in the morning before he has breakfast. I play 20 minutes of the film. Of course, he's seen the full film. I play 20 minutes of the film to him. He listens to it. He says, okay. He'll ask me the meaning if it's in Hindi. What is he saying? I said, I'll put subtitles and give you. So I put all subtitles for him. 20 minutes he sees. 7 to 7:20 or 7:30, that is, approximately, say 7:30. 7:30, he'll tell me, okay, I'll start after breakfast. We'll have breakfast. I said, okay, he's going to start after breakfast. So I'll have idlis with him in his room. I come, he said, okay, Balki, bye. So what bye? 3 o'clock, I'll see you.
Yeah.
So no, I just want to watch you. Okay, you watch. What is he watching? He's just going to one corner. For about half an hour, he just writes something on a piece of paper and he throws it to various people. And he comes, come, you're still here, let's chat. Then 11 o'clock, he comes back. He says, bye, now you go. 3 o'clock, you come. So he goes, briefs all the musicians. 3 o'clock, I come. He says, ready? He wants to present like a magic show always. 3 o'clock, for 20 minutes, You have music that I don't have to shift one frame, and every music is a melody. It can become a song by itself. And I'm listening, how did this man, ups, downs, the mix is almost like he's playing around with it like that only for the dialogue to come, and there is melody, there is beautiful. 20 minutes of the film is done by 6:37 in the evening. Bye, goodbye. Next day is the second reel. So 7 days you're finishing the background score of a film. And like this, he has done 1,000 films with background score, with 6 songs per film.
Yeah.
Out of the 6,000 songs, at that point in time, at least 5,000 are the biggest chart busters you will ever have.
Yes.
5,000 chart buster songs and background score of 1,000 films. It's not funny. He told me a very funny story once, and I must tell you. The south of India, if you want to know, we all look at the national anthem in India. I always call it the background score of South India is Ilayaraja's music. They fall in love thinking of his music. They
everything.
cry. They hit each other also thinking of his music. They cry at funerals thinking of his music. That's his background score. They can't function without his
Everywhere.
music. So one day, the Diwali time, they would normally have 6 releases, or 7 films will be releasing during Diwali time. All 7 out of 7 films, 6 films will be Ilayaraja, because Ilayaraja's music used to understand. So when their turn comes, they'll go and finish their music, take the songs and go run. That was the kind of guy he is even today, and he was. At 81 years today, he is like a child, kind of playing around with music like nobody. He'll just press the harmonium, the tune just comes like that.
I could see like a visual of like this is a temple of a musician. And devotees, the directors are waiting for that prasad in a queue. Yeah.
Exactly like that. Have you ever heard of it in cinema today? I mean, it's that cinema. I also believe when we do film festivals and we do cinema, we all look at the meaningful cinema, we all learn to appreciate cinema. There's also an aura of cinema. What I think we forget is, we watch cinema like this, okay? We don't watch cinema, even when you're watching this somehow, even when you're sitting in the balcony, you're watching like this. You're never looking down like that, on cinema. And there is an aura of cinema, all the stardom, all the tantrums, all the egos, all the names. You've got your own imagination of all of them. It's great fun doing cinema with all these things. Like even today when Bachchan walks into a room, I mean, everybody sees him every day in Kaun Banega Crorepati. The country sees one man every day, which is Amitabh Bachchan. Okay? Daily, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whenever the TV starts, he's on. Everybody shut their families off. So that's time. But when today he walks into a room, the whole room, whoever may be there, you could have every big superstar in the country in that damn room, but the room will stand up and it'll all be hushed silence when he walks. Okay, when this thing, there is this aura associated with that. That aura of cinema is really important for cinema to kind of really grow, thrive. We need to get that, that hype, what do you say, the stupidity of that magic going. Because that stupidity is what keeps the stupidity is what keeps the magic going. It's so important for the magic. We all keep saying star systems are bad. We should make, of course, make meaningful cinema. But I think the day stars are not there, cinema will have very, very tough time surviving. Because we do go look forward to stars. Cinema in this country is thriving because we all saw, for 20 years we saw Amitabh Bachchan. We ran to see Amitabh Bachchan on screen. Everything else was an excuse. We all ran to see Rajinikanth. We all ran to see Kamal Haasan. We all ran to see all the big stars, at least the 10 big stars in the country. Stars are a huge driving force. And the problem today is stars don't know how to preserve their stardom because they have to be magical. They have to be mystical. They have to be mysterious. There is a price to preserve the stardom. And I think that's essential for cinema. So I think we should not ever write off any kind of cinema because I think those are the true pillars of cinema. Like even abroad, you see what Brando has, what De Niro has, what Caprio has, what this thing, aura about these guys. Even the latest film, you say Killers of the Flower Moon, Scorsese's film. De Niro is 80 years old. But what power he has, what presence he has. De Niro screen lights up. It's also part of stardom. It's also part of who De Niro is.
That is the charisma of the personality,
of the person.
the poise the actor converts into a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to build. I think also part of film festivals is to kind of how do you also understand the true magic of cinema lies in personalities too.
So now, like I'll be opening it for the audience, but before that, my last question: what is the what if you are working right now? What is that?
I've never done this. What if I don't do anything for some time? Is what I'm working on. Right now.
That's wonderful. So nothing on plate currently. But अभी आगे वाला
No,
project.
no, I'm really taking a break. I'll start, I think, maybe thinking of something this month or this year. But I'll do something next year, not this year.
फाईन. मी प्रेक्षकांना ओपन करतो. माईक आहे कधी कधीला. तर थोडक्यात प्रश्न विचारा आणि एक मोजकेच प्रश्न घेऊ शकतो कारण आपण सुरू उशिरा केले.
मैं समर्थ आपने आज तक जो भी फिल्म्स किए मतलब आपने बताया कि आपका कोई फिल्म स्कूल से एजुकेशन नहीं हुआ लेकिन आपने जो फिल्म्स किए उनमें से आपको कौन सी फिल्म ऐसी लगती है कि यार मेरा मास्टर क्लास या फिल्म स्कूल थी और वो फिल्म ही क्यों मतलब बाकी की क्यों नहीं है ऐसा.
Oh, my film, don't watch anything. Don't watch any of my films. I think there are far better films to kind of watch if you really want to study cinema. But the film that I have, which is not, it's not that I've enjoyed making it more than the film, but I have been more close to. Sometimes you're close to some idea which has been there for long. It's true. Somewhere I feel that as an artist, I did it as a hurt artist, so it was more true to the person I am. I feel a lot of those things, not the way to kill, but I just feel the hurt.
Yeah. Chup is a closer to your heart.
Little bit more, but nothing. Otherwise, no film is close to my heart. I don't watch my films. I try my best not to watch my films after it's done because I'm really embarrassed. I always feel that. I want to duck under the table.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, you have made a different genre of films, like a Pa, like a Chinikam. These are all films are like a soft-hearted films. So you are a creative writer, you are a creative director. So what's your thoughts while in writing? How much challenging is the creative concept? Because today we are watching all commercial films, box office collections, and commercial 500 crores films, 1,000 crore films. So your films very challenging. So what your priorities for the box office collections?
Okay.
And sir, second question is.
एक एकाचं उत्तर देऊ द्या, मग आपण लगेच पोहोचूया.
So the honest answer is, sir, I also want 500 crores. My films don't make 500 crores. I don't know why. See, the thing is, nobody says, no, I don't want to make 500 crores. I want to make a film, the film I want to make, and I want that film to make 500 crores. Whatever the number of crores is, 500, 700, 200, 100, whatever it is. I want to make money. It's not about money, I want enough people to see it. And automatically it makes money if enough people see it. So no filmmaker sets out saying that I don't want this. Sometimes I don't understand how a lot of those commercial films even make money. I like masala films, I love commercial films. But I don't understand how some films have made 400, 500 crores. I cannot understand. So when I plot a film, I know, like Gomar or Chup, even Chup, when I did Chini Kam, I didn't think of it. I thought it would be an entertaining stream commercial film. You see, it's a rara film, it's a full-on family film. That's why a lot of people, it's got the maximum viewership ever for a film on Z in the recent times, which are there. So I feel that when it can reach so many people, why didn't people come? I don't know. Was it release dates? A lot of people told me not to release it on that date. They released it after 2 months when the things are quiet. I didn't listen. Maybe that was a mistake. What is the mistake? I have no idea. So nobody plots a film to be a small film. I can always say at the end of it, no, it's a small film. There's nothing like a small film. The same amount of effort, time, everything goes in telling a story. And I never want to make a film. I always believe, like in advertising, people ask me, how do you know certain ideas will click? How do you have such a connection with consumers? I don't have any connection with consumers. I hardly understand myself. How do I understand anybody else? So I try and do things which appeal to me, normal. So if I am like a lot of customers, then what I like, most probably they will also like, and therefore I become a good advertising person. But I'm doing things only for myself. So even in cinema, I just do that. I just do things what I like. If it connects with a lot of people, so be it. If it doesn't connect with a lot of people, then I'm not a big filmmaker. So it works like that. So there is nothing like big and small. You just do certain ideas, certain way of thinking connects with a lot of people. Certain ideas connect with the lesser people. That's all it is.
Sir, my second question is.
आपण ना एक एक प्रश्न घेऊयात कारण
Sir,
सगळ्यांना
just
प्रश्न विचारले.
it's a very short question.
यांचे संपले की प्लीज त्यांचे घेतो
हो,
कारण
yes, yes.
इतरांना
Sir.
पण बोलायचे.
Sir,
So,
I-
तुम्ही त्यांना माईक द्याल प्लीज.
माझं झालं का आता?
एक प्रश्न झाला तुमचा मी दुसरा
बरं, ओके, नो प्रॉब्लेम.
सॉरी.
Good evening, sir. So, as you were talking about nowadays, as we have OTT and so many other platforms, so we consume too much of content than we used to consume about 20 years back, let's say. So, how do you preserve your originality in this world of OTT?
No, I see exactly the same number of films as I used to see before. Well, I see a lot of films even before. I love watching films. But the beauty is, when you're making films, because you watch a lot of films, you at least know that, okay, all these things have been done before. Okay, it's not that you want to do something like this or something like that. I never want to say I want to make a film like Truffaut or Spielberg or Scorsese's. I don't want to make a film like Tarantino. I don't want to make. I watch Tarantino. It's Tarantino's job to make films like Tarantino, not mine. And it's Truffaut's job to make films like Truffaut when he was alive. So I just feel that each one has a voice. We are given one chance in our lives, and it's time to kind of not be as good as somebody else or try and be like somebody else, to be as good as you can be with an original voice. And I also believe a lot of people forget that cinema, like any other art form, is an actual art form where you can have an original voice, where everybody can have an original voice. Most of the time, what happens, we spend our time trying to impress
And trying to please others.
very knowledgeable people who know all about films and write about films. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Some of my esteemed critics in Bollywood, we are so happy that, oh, he's almost as good as that. It was this style of making, that style of making, this kind of thing. Hey, you've seen 3 films. Yeah, that's all you've kind of seen. You're trying to write something. Some people try and impress people saying that, I can be like this, I can be like that. That's one way. But I feel that's an opportunity lost. It's a way to kind of have a voice of your own. Good or bad, for whatever it's worth.
Next question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, first of all, sir, a big fan, sir. I'm big fan of your films. Sir, my question is, I watch your film Chup, The Artist of and Revenge, and the main part of it, this film is the killer is he's a fan of Guru Dutt Saab. So how does how does you come to this process?
Guru Dutt's process.
My question is, okay, thank you.
How did you get the idea of Guru Dutt?
Yes, that
That's what you're asking, right?
that's the question. Yes.
I'll give you a very simple answer to that. Very strangely, this happened to me. Just about 3 months before I started writing Chup, I was called by the FTI director at that point in time to come and inaugurate a Guru Dutt week of films where his family was coming, his daughter or something. He said, can you please come and inaugurate the retrospective of Guru Dutt for the week? And I said, listen, I've seen this film long back. I don't think I'm the right person to kind of think. There are a lot more people knowledgeable about Guru Dutt's film. No, his people close to him want a person like you to come and inaugurate this stuff. I said, okay. So I was under a lot of pressure. So I went and saw everything about Guru Dutt. All his films he has directed, acted, produced, and documentaries of him. Everything I watched. So that I need to be ready, even for the 2 lines I need to speak about somebody, I need to be absolutely ready. So I really studied. Just the day before I was supposed to go, my cat, one of 2 cats, they are our only children. One of them fell really ill and passed away. and I could not kind of go the next day. So I was very disappointed. I forgot about it actually. No, I was more unhappy that my cat was no more. But all these thoughts of Gurudutt was in my head. So when 3 months down the road, when I was writing about the critic, suddenly I don't know why I was thinking Gurudutt. I said, what if Gurudutt was not disappointed? What if he said he was not so silent? What if he was violent? What could he be? Then I knew so much about Gurudutt. We just started writing, and it like just flowed because there's so much of a thing I'd done on Gurudutt at that point in time. So sometimes when you go through an experience like that and you connect it was so fortunate that I'd just done that 3-4 months before I started doing show. Sometimes it just happens. Again, luck.
Next question. सुरू आहे. Mic.
Hello. Yeah. Hi, sir. My name is Ketan Kulkarni. I'll start with Goomer first. Like to begin with, the movie started in the theater and I was like one plus ka log line, sir. I was never settled situation there. So kind of what I think was Pa or Goomer. There are a lot of emotions drastically changing throughout the film. Like if I want to cry out loud, the second instance there's a smile on my face. May it be pride or like success or something else. So I'm sorry that I'm asking you, is this your direction style that you want to keep your audience never settle throughout the emotions?
If I could control another person's emotions so much, I would first be a master of controlling my own. I don't have that mastery.
Yeah.
I just write with the flow of what I think, the story that I want to tell. I cannot manipulate a person's emotions. I'm not good at that. This I think is about we assume arrogance and a strength that we really don't have, just because people who are watching it react a certain way. I cannot attribute that that arrogance to me or that strength to me. I don't have it. It just happens to have had it. Another film that I may have cried and laughed. You may not even react to it stuff, and I'll be disappointed. So I just believe sometimes it just connects as well as, like I said, like we both are normal and I relate to what I'm writing in a certain way. Chances are that you'd relate the same way, and we are similar.
Yeah, just one last question.
Hello, sir. My name is Akanksha. So I just watched the Gumo movie and I really loved it. It's such an inspiring one. So I just want to ask you, what was the inspiration behind that movie? What was your creative process?
For Goomer,
Yes, Gumar.
I'll tell you this. Goomer was a film that was not like this first. Actually, a friend of mine, Rahul Sengupta, had this sort of a shooter. It was based on Karoli Tekak's Hungarian shooter who lost his right hand in an accident during the war and then trained with his left hand to shoot and won 2 Olympic golds. So he had written a story based on that. I like the thought. I like the story. I like the incident that happened. But I said, this is not a film because it's just happening. Okay, you go put, and you're kind of saying put. There's no thing. What is the new thing? I just believe what I took out from that little incident he narrated to me was the fact that when you're faced with a challenge in life, is when you really think out of the box. Okay, when you come up with absolutely new situation. When the tougher the challenge, the bigger the solution is. So for me, the biggest challenge, biggest reason to do Goomer, first thing is when I met Sammy, I knew that I'm in love with cricket. So I cannot make any Bollywood actor, I can make people act. I cannot make them play cricket. Okay, cricket, you either have it or you don't have it. I was so glad that she is a cricketer.
she's a cricketer.
And an actor that is non-existent in most industries and possibly only person who exists in our industry. That's one reason. Second is, when I was writing the film, I was said that, so what? Okay, it's a story of a girl who loses a hand and she kind of, a coach comes and kind of, whatever the personality is. I was just thinking, what's the new thing that we're doing? I love cricket. I watch cricket every day. What is the cricket that I'm going to show? Yes, I can be very authentic in terms of camera angles. I can capture the. I know cricket enough for even one camera position slightly off. I know it's not correct. So I'll be as authentic, but still it's not interesting. For me, I need to give back to the game. I can't borrow from the game when I'm making a film about a game I watch every day. If I don't give back to the game something it does not have, okay, so I need to invent a delivery. I said, if the girl is challenged, what can she do that a two-handed person would never think of? Okay, so that was my biggest reason to do Boomer, was to invent the delivery of Boomer. And when I got that, I said, okay, now we're doing the film. I know there's a story everywhere else, but I'm not motivated to do the film till I find the leap, the out-of-the-box solution that girl has.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So on this note, मी आता हे wind up करतो session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much,
Thank you for this
Yanesh. Thank you.
conversation.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you, guys.
We would like more of this out-of-box ideas and this what-if child instinct you have in yourself.
Thank you.
All the best to that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll be happy to have you back to our festival.
Pleasure. I still have to see the Lord of Ellora.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot.
Thank you.